Hey! So I found some old footage. This video is going to be like a Frankenstein stuff. There are two different colorings going on here. First up there'll be this one in Magical Dawn, where I'm mostly going over the white lines. And then there's some old footage from coloring in Zemlya Snova. And both of them have, well, they're in progress and you won't see the finish of them, and this is mostly a video to have on in the background. I'm going to try to chat all the time. I have an idea. I'm going to do the Wikipedia hopping stuff again because I found that fun. I will be narrating a bit of what I'm doing. But yeah, so to start up with this in Magical Dawn, the trick is to first, or at least for me when I do swirls like this, is first the base of Inktense and or Albrecht Dürer. So like, or any other water-based pencil to just have a layer, and then smoothing that out with polychromos. Sergey is here disturbing me, but yeah. And then after that is smooth with polychromos. That's when I go in with gel pen and sort of the magic happens. I always find going over the white lines or over the lines with white gel pen or whatever white media tedious. I've tried some different stuff, but it is as it is. It's just if I want to do it, I just know I have to gather some patience and go ahead. What is it, Sergey? Sergey? Hello? I don't know. He's going to be popping up in this video, I think 2 or 3 times. It was some nuisance apparently when I filmed this. But yeah, alright. Let's see. Wikipedia. I find it so much fun to, just go for a random article and see what happens. So let's go for the article on blue. Primary color between violet and cyan. Blah. It's a dominant wavelength between approximately 450 and 495 nanometers. Doesn't tell us that much, does it? Oh, you know what I want to look up? Because ray light scattering, there we go. The clear daytime sky and the deep sea appear blue because of an optical effect known as ray light scattering. Let's click on that. Okay. Named after the 19th century British physicist Lord Raylight. Ah, nice. Scattering of light by particles much smaller than the wavelength of the radiation. Okay, so the light coming in has a certain wavelength, right? Because it's in waves or in particles or both at the same time, but whatever. Okay, if we imagine it as wavelength, and then those wavelengths are bigger than the particle that scatter it. So what are the particles that scattering them then? Some sort of small blah 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 blah. Let's see, is it atoms or does it have to be smaller? How big is an atom? No, it's smaller than just a few nanometers, right? Oh my god, I should know this. Blah blah. Okay, equations, fun stuff. Fluctuation. Cause of the blue color of the sky. When kids ask me in the future sometime if I ever get asked by a small child why the sky is blue, I want to be able to explain Rayleigh scattering. Okay, so the shorter blue wavelength are scattered more strongly than the longer red wavelength. Let's see, various scattering particles have a small size. Yeah, I know that, but what are the actual... here we go. A portion of the beam of light coming from the sun scatters off molecules of gas and other small particles in the atmosphere. Here, ray light scattering primarily occurs through sunlight's interaction with randomly located air molecules. So it's air molecules. Okay, so you get the light from the sky, which has all the colors of the rainbow, hits molecules of gas in the atmosphere, and then the wavelength, or like the parts of the light coming in, the rainbow light coming in, that have the shortest wavelength are scattered more strongly than the one with the longer wavelength. And it happens that the shorter wavelength is blue. Is that correct? I think that's how I interpret this article anyway. So let's see. So you have all the light from the sun, and then it hits the particles in the atmosphere, and the red light isn't as bothered by it as the blue light is. Okay, that's how I would explain it to a 5-year-old. Okay, good. Moving on. Let's click on something here. We have something called Plinian eruptions. I have no idea what that is. Okay. Plinian eruptions, or Vesuvian eruptions, or volcanic eruptions marked by their similarity to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Okay. Yeah, that's the one that destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum. I hear very little about Herculaneum. Let's click on that. An ancient Roman town located in in Campania, Italy. Buried under volcanic ash. I wonder if it's less touristy than Pompeii, but you know, it's nice to know of places that are a bit less touristy, but just as cool. So maybe this is one of those. Let's see what it says. Okay, there's some history here. There's the eruption, 79 AD. Okay. AD, is that before or after? After, right? Oof. Okay. The date of the eruption was somewhere around 17th of October. How do they know that? Buried people in the ash were wearing heavier clothing than the light summer clothes. Nice. I mean, not nice, but it's, you know, I find it cool how we come up with things like this. Okay. The multidisciplinary research of the lethal effects of the pyroclastic surges in the Vesuvian era has shown that in the vicinity of Pompeii and Herculaneum, intense heat was the main cause of death, of course. But what are these pyroclastic surges? Is a fluidized mass of turbulent gas and rock fragments that is ejected during some volcanic eruptions. By the way, I'm reading a really like one of the best fantasy series I've read in a while now. Like I read Shadow of the Gods, and then I had like half a year of stuff that was more or less like fast food fantasy, and now I found this, and I mean, it's a big series. You probably, if you're a fantasy nerd like I am, you've probably heard of it or read it. It's called the 5th season. It's the first book, and the magic system is based on like tectonic plates and volcanic stuff, and it's really cool. It's well written. The characters are really good, and the the magic and the world building is really good as well. But I think the best thing is the exploration of culture. It's because like magic in this world is frowned upon, and people who are born with it are usually killed at birth, and or they get taken and trained in like second-class citizens in university kind of stuff, and yet still the culture is really dependent on their magic to save them from earthquakes and stuff like that, because in this world earthquakes, or seasons as they're called, are very common. Like every now and then a huge season erupts and that lasts, hundreds of years, where the whole world is affected by a volcanic eruption. And yeah, no, it's really highly recommend it. 5th season. Just read it. Anyway, pyroclastic surges, fluidized mass of turbulent gas and rock that is ejected at fluidized mass of turbulent gas. How do you get gas into fluid form? I mean, I know how you get that, but at the same time as it is, fluids, gases are fluids as well, right? Yes. Like the definition of the word fluids includes gases, at least in Swedish, in chemistry, not in like our everyday languages, but anyway. Let's see if I remember the Rayleigh scattering explanation I was going to give a 5-year-old. So light from the sun that has all the different colors of the rainbow hits particles in the atmosphere, and that bothers the blue wavelength more than it does the red. And therefore you see more of the blue one. Ha! Yay. I have no idea if that's 100% correct. Like, hey, if you're a physicist or something, you can write in the comments, correct me. But yeah, okay. We were talking about, what was this again? Herculaneum. Should probably check a pronunciation for that. But I'm not going to. Anyway, moving on. Okay, we have a bit about the layout of the streets. We have some houses here. What's this? The House of Aristides. The first building in Insula 2 is the House of Aristides. The entrance opens directly into the atrium, but the ruins are not well preserved due to damage caused by previous excavations. The lower floor was probably used for storage. Okay, yeah, that was not that interesting. Let's see if we can find something else. Central Thermae. The central thermae, or bathhouses, were built around the 1st century AD. Bathhouses were popular at the time, especially in Pompeii and Herculaneum. Per common practice, there were separate bathing areas for men and women. The thermae also served as a prominent cultural home for works of art. See there? Yeah, let's see if we can find anything else. Oh, we have a picture of a skeleton called the Ring Lady. That's if they ever find my skeleton and I get a cool name like that, I'd be happy. House number 22 is noted for this outstanding summer triclinium with a oh yeah, I like trying to read Latin words spelled in English. It's like, wow. It's 2 degrees separated from where I'm at. Okay. Nymphanium, let's say, decorated with colored mosaics. Okay, cool. Moving on. What more can we click on here then? Preservation of the skeletal remains. The skeletal remains became a top priority only in the early 1980s. Oh no, what did it do before? Under the direction of Sarah C. Bissell. Okay, let's click on her. Who's she? I guess, Sarah is usually a women name at least. Physical anthropologist and classical archaeologist played a prominent role in early scientific research of Herculaneum. Blah blah blah. Her pioneering work in the chemical and physical analysis of skeletons yielded new insights into the nutrition and health of ancient populations. Considered groundbreaking and helped advance the fields of paleodemography. Let's click on that. Paleodemography. Oh yeah, okay, so this was where I was at with the work in progress, by the way. And now we switch to the other one. This is footage that's really old, and you'll see a lot of either dust or pollen floating around, but let's call it like a cool visual effect and move on. But yeah, in this video you will mostly see, so on this side, on the right hand side, I will be diluting Inktense. So first off, I had a layer of water-based markers, and then I shaded that with Inktense on top, which is what you see me diluting. And then on the left hand side you will later see the next step in the process, which is smoothing all that over with polychromos on top and adding some water-based markers as well for some details. You will also see me being bothered by Sergey a lot in this video, so yeah. But let's go back to paleodemography, which is prehistoric demography. Demography, you know, the amount of population, sort of, the study of human demography. Demography. Let's click on demography and see what from ancient Greek anyway. Writing, drawing, description, that's the name of it. Okay, yeah, a statistical study of populations. You know, if you've seen all those graphs about how the aging populations and so on of the Western world, that's kinda it, I think. So, but this is about prehistoric population statistics, I guess. Here we go, here he is. Yeah, king of the show. Anyway, methods of doing it when it comes to ancient civilizations, you either have skeletal analysis, which is then what Sarah, whatever she was, let's see, Sarah C. Biesel was working on, right? Skeletal analysis can yield information such as an estimation of age at time of death. Sure, there are numerous methods that can be used. In addition to age estimation and sex estimation, someone versed in basic osteology, which I guess is like bone knowledge, right? Scientific study of bones, yeah, can assert a minimum number of individuals in cultured contexts, such as in mass graves or an ossuary. Ossuary is a chest box, building, well, or site made to serve as the final resting place of human skeletal remains, frequently used where burial space is scarce. Cool. Kind of dark. Why do these videos always take dark turns? Anyway, this is important as it's not always obvious how many bodies compose the bones sitting in a heap as they are excavated. Alright, so for this work in progress, by the way, if we go back to the video, I had a little post-it note with the different colors I was using. I don't always write down all the colors. Sometimes I just eye the colors and just go with whatever mismatches I come up with and try to spread them into the page. That usually gives kind of cool effects, you know, if you have two different kinds of blues instead of one perfect one. I don't know, I usually just go with it, but in this case I had a little list, so hooray. So let's see, where were we? Okay, so if you do skeletal analysis, which like can consist of knowing how many individuals there are in like a certain heap of bones or whatever, but you can also estimate, of course, what age they are and what sex they are. And then we say occasional historical disease prevalence for illnesses such as leprosy can also be determined from bone restructuring and deterioration. Paleontology, as these investigations are called, okay, can be useful in accurate estimations of mortality rates. I thought paleontology was only about dinosaurs. Am I reading it wrong? Paleopathology. 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 There we go. Pathology is something when something is bad, right? So it's the study of ancient diseases and injuries in organisms. So it's not the same thing as whatever the dinosaur study is. Paleo. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Where would I? Yeah, I need to do a search here. Okay. Dinosaur study. Paleontology. So paleontology versus paleopathology, it seems like. Yeah, sorry if there was a weird cut there. I had to come back to it. But yeah, paleopathology and stuff. I've totally lost my train of thought. But let's maybe find something light to click on. Not DNA, that sounds so dry. We could click on... It's just a bunch of links to diseases here. Let's go back. And click on... Because here under where we were at with the... what was this called? Prehistoric demography. And then we clicked on skeletal analysis. And here we also have estimates of habitable land area. And it says that according to a 2015 study, the total land area of Africa, Eurasia and Sahul that was habitable to humans during the last glacial maximum was around... Oh my god, now I need to translate this really big number. Or read it, I mean. Okay, so we have 76 million. Or if I round it up, it looks like 77 million square kilometers. And I am not going to put that into square miles or whatever you other guys use. Anyway, I wanted to click on Sahul. Sahul, also called Saul Land. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that, but it seems to have an age in the pronunciation guide. So Sahul Land, or Meganasia, Papua Land, and Greater Australia, was a paleo-continent that encompassed the modern-day land masses and mainland Australia, Tasmania, New Guinea, and Aru Islands. What are the Aru Islands? Aru Islands is a group of about 95 low-lying islands in the Maluku Islands of eastern Indonesia. Nice, cool. Population of about 84,000 in 2011, and in 2020 it was 100,000. Yeah, I want to see it on the map. Not that I can explain it in words where on the map it is, but this is for me. I'm not going to try to explain where in the Indonesian islands this is. But yeah, okay. So that was the Sahul Land. Was an old continent of Australia mixed with a bunch of islands together. Okay, let's see. Is this where but the marsupials only exist in Australia, right? Do they exist on the islands around as well? I mean, Tasmania has the Tasmanian devils are marsupials, right? Marsupials are the mammals, you know, with the pouch, like kangaroos and koalas and so on. And I think they only exist in Australia. I'm not sure about the let's see, and maybe if I Google Aru Islands and marsupials, wonder what comes up. Okay, so Britannica.com, Aru Islands, tropical mangroves and wildlife. Let's see what it says. It says stuff and things. Okay, I thought it says something about the dodo. It says Dobo is the main town on small Vamar Island. Minor port, a principal harbor and minor airport. All the islands are low, covered with dense forest and edged by swampy coastal areas. Vegetation includes screw pines, palm trees, canary, which is Java almond, and tree ferns. Marsupials are the dominant animals. Haha! Okay, so probably, yeah, it's, I guess, wait. Okay, so I want to check when Sahul land got separated and when marsupials are I almost said were created. I'm not a creationist, but okay, let's see. Marsupials, I don't know, history. We end up in Britannica again. Fossil evidence indicates clearly that marsupials originated in the New World. What's the New World? Anyway, the oldest known marsupials fossils, which have been found in both China and North America, date approximately 125 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period. Their presence in Australia and nearby islands is thought to have occurred from a single migration event in which a group of ancestral marsupials colonized Australia by using land connections from South America via Antarctica. Whether that took place before the rise of the placental mammals, or whether placentals also reached Australasia but died out, is a subject of controversy. By about 65 million years ago, so wait, we started out 125 million years ago. We found the oldest known marsupial fossils are from then, and those are in China and North America, 125 million years ago, and then you go forward about 60 million years, so you are about 65 million years ago instead. That's when Australasia was isolated from all other continental masses, and there marsupials evolved into many diverse forms. One of which was the giant wombat. I mean, wombats are so cute. If you haven't seen one, then Google one right now. But probably, like, giant, maybe not so cute, right? Wombats cute. Giant wombats, skeptical. Anyway, South America, they survived alongside placentals. I'm guessing placentals are, mammals that have placentas instead of pouches then. And they form a significant part of the neotropical mammalian fauna. The neotropical region, one of the 6 major biogeographic areas of the world, defined on the basis of its characteristic animal life. It extends south from the Mexican desert into South America as far as the subantarctic zone. Okay, it includes such animals as the llama, tapir, deer, pig, jaguar, puma, etc. The neotropical mammalian fauna. Okay, that's the first time I've heard that. But, okay. Tapir, llama, deer, jaguar, and other South American fauna then, I guess. Yeah, from the Mexican desert into South America as far as the subantarctic zone. Alright. Learn something new every day, especially if you go like article hopping. But yeah, okay. So marsupials also populated Europe, Asia, and North America between 125 million and 14 million years ago. What happened 14 million years ago? Let's see. Scrolling down. Marsupials share with other mammals their presence of hair and mammary glands. In the female reproductive tract, however, there are twin vaginae, Okay. No, I'm going to get demonetized. I'm reading about animals. Like, don't come at me. Oh yeah, by the way, I did finally monetize my channel, so thank you for sticking around anyway. But yeah, okay, I'm going to scroll down a bit instead. Okay, I'm going to hop back to Wikipedia. So, we learned about the Sahul land, and the Aru Islands, and so on. Let's click on Tasmania. Tasmania is a cool place, I think. Island state of Australia. Let's see. What's toponymy? Toponymy. Okay. No idea what that is. I can't click on it. Okay, let us Google that. Toponymy. Guessing it has something to do with place. Study of... It's the study of toponyms. Yeah, thank you. Proper names of places. Okay. Ooh, that's a cool one, right? Because toponyms. Okay, so names of places. This is something I know from other article hoppings. And don't quote me on it. I'm just, the holder of a lot of useless knowledge. But so names of places change a lot slower than other names or other words in languages. So in Slovenia, for example, you have this mountain called Nanos, which is a very weird name because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean like, the big mountain or whatever. And it's really distinct. Like the shape of it is really distinct. It looks a bit like a beached whale. And additionally, it's located in next to a pass where more or less if you wanted to go down to the Balkans, you more or less need to pass that mountain. You see it. It's impossible to not see it. And it's called Nanos. And as far as I know, let me actually Google this. As far as I know, people don't know what language that name comes from. Okay, this didn't help us at all. Yeah, okay, everything that comes up has to do with, nano, like nanometer and so on, like 10 to the minus 9. Okay, if I Google Nanos mountain. Nanos mountain, Slovenia, there we go. Karst limestone plateau. Geography, history. Let's see what it says in history. In antiquity, Nanos was known as Okra. Okay. But where, I wonder what the name Nanos comes from. Strabo reckoned it is the last peak of the Alps. In the 1st century, the pass of Nanos was an important route for civilian and military traffic from Trieste to Ljubljana. It lost its importance when a faster road connected Emona to Aquileia. Nanos is mentioned as Nanas in in Valvasor's 1689 work. The Glory of the Duchy of Carniola. I've never heard it in English. But Janez Vajkard Valvasor is like, he's a known, or at least in, when you study Slovenian history, you hear about him. I am guessing no one else ever hears about him. But he wrote the Glory of the Duchy of Carniola. I wonder, Slava Vojvodina Krainske. For some reason it doesn't sound that, what's it called? Glorifying or, big. It doesn't Maybe it's just because I'm more used to hearing it in Slovenian. Anyway. There are around... No, let's see. This is just boring. Their most highly valued product is Nanos cheese. I've never eaten cheese from Nanos. I didn't know it was big. Oh no. I've missed the thing. Alright, next time I'm in the region. Anyway, we were talking about toponymy. Study of proper name of places. Let's see. Comes from the ancient Greek, of course. Toponymic typology. Okay. So the principal groups it can be divided in. We have geonyms, which are proper names of geographical features on planet Earth. Cosmonyms, which are proper names of cosmographical features outside Earth. Then we have then we have agronyms, which are proper names of fields and plains. Oh no, I mean like reading these words. What am I throwing myself into? We have choronyms, which is proper names of regions or countries. Okay. Dromonyms, proper names of roads. Dreamonyms, woods and forests. Econyms, inhabited locations like houses, villages, towns, or cities. Then we have hydronyms, obviously water. Insulonyms, islands. Oronyms, relief. Urbanonyms, urban elements. Asteroidonyms, astronyms. Cometonyms, metronyms, which is proper names of meteors. Okay. Meteoronyms, I mean. Yeah, I can't read. And and planet things. So let's see if there's something fun here. We have toponomastics. Place names provide the most useful geographical reference system in the world. Consistency and accuracy are essential in referring to a place to prevent confusion. This is such and also citation needed. Lovely. But yeah, okay. Nothing that much here. Let's see if we can here in see also. Let's see what we have here. Let's see if we can find something that's not in Europe. Actually, no. Let me stay in Europe because this is Welsh place names. This sounds interesting. The place names of Wales derive in most cases from the Welsh language, but have also been influenced by linguistics context with the Romans, Anglo-Saxons, Vikings, and Anglo-Normans, and modern English. Okay, scrolling down. So the Welsh language is a Western Brittonic language, descended from the Common Brittonic, spoken throughout Britain in the centuries before the Anglo-Saxon and Viking invasions. It's blowing a lot. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, then we have place names from the Western Brittonic speaking Hen Ogledd, occurring Cumbria in the Scottish lowlands. These include the name of Edinburgh from Cumbric Din Edin, as in Edin's fort. The Cornish language is the southwestern Brittonic language, and many place names in Cornwall, and to a lesser extent neighbouring Devon, Somerset and Dorset, therefore have similar origins to names in Wales, such as the River Avon or Devon. Okay, scrolling down. Okay, here we have common elements in Welsh place names. So, Afon is river, then we have Alt, which is hillside or wood. We have Bed, which is grave. Probably has nothing to do with bed and going to bed and sleeping, but still fun coincidence. We have a lot of different things here. Din was fort. Dol is meadow. I wonder, in The Witcher, you have Dol Blatana, right? Was that supposed to be? I don't know if like the author took inspiration from Welsh language or not. Probably not. Could be. Dol in Slavic languages is usually like Dolina is valley, and that's close to meadow. So I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, and the reason why I took the Slavic example is because he's Polish, right? The author of The Witcher. Anyway. Ogof is cave. Pant is hollow or valley. Yeah, that's not Dol. Let's see what more. Yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff. Isgol is school. Sounds a bit like school. Isgol, school. Yeah. Official policy on place names in Wales. See also road signs in Wales. Okay. Can be a matter of dispute and uncertainty. In some cases, there is an issue of whether both the Welsh and English names should be used or only one, and which should be given priority. I mean, this is this is usual in a lot of places where you have two different cultures living together. It's just life. Okay. Alright, moving on. We have a lot of different things we could click on now. A lot of things in Great Britain. Let us go back a bit. I like the marsupial parts. Let's see. Here, we were in Tasmania. That's where we were. Yeah, and we ended up, one of the things of Tasmania was toponymy. Okay, and that was where the name comes from. Okay, it's named after the Dutch explorer Abel Tasman, who made the first reported European sighting of the island on 24th November 1642. What was it named before that, though? Okay, Tasmania was sometimes referred to as Dervon. This is also from after colonial times. Blah blah blah. Okay, in the reconstructed Palavakani language, the main island of Tasmania is called, I'm going to butcher this, but Iutruvita, recorded in Stuff and Things, probably for one of the eastern or northeastern Tasmanian languages. Just trying to see. Okay, we have some bilingual names at least. So we have the Kanamaluka, which is the Tamar River, and a few others as well. Interesting. Oh, there is something called the tessellated pavement, a rare rock formation in the Tasmanian peninsula. It looks really weird. It looks like salt panes. It's like man-made squares in the beach rock, but it's apparently not man-made. Cool. Yeah, a lot of dark colonial history here. Geography. Blah blah. A high concentration of waterfalls. Hey, let's click on waterfalls. Yeah, we all know what waterfalls are, right? We don't need the definition. Actually, we do. Because there's something here. The formation of waterfalls. And we have something called the Caprock model. And it's a model of waterfall formation. I didn't know we needed a model for that, you know. It's just like, okay, rock ends, water falls down it. Waterfall. But apparently there's something called the Caprock model. Yeah. Okay, of course. Then you get processes such as potholing, which involves local erosion of a potentially deep hole in the bedrock due to the, the whirlpools around the bed, drilling it out, and so on. But yeah, I think actually we're approaching the end of this video. So this is as far as I came in this little recording, more or less. You saw just mostly a lot of shading, and I did go in with some white and did some highlights, which is always fun. And this is how it looks like right now. So the lighting is different, but also you can see that I've gone in with some more turquoise, and of course shaded the leaves and all that, and some white gel pen in the stars. And this is how the swirls, the other page, looks like right now. It's still in progress, but yeah, not sure I quite like all the bottles, so we're ending on the picture of the other one. Alright, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.